Coming to you live from the Black Goat 39 studios, this is the Guru Talkin Sports podcast. Now here's your host, the Guru of Sports. Thank you. Thank you. You're much too kind. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Please take your seats through the aisles. Hello, sports fans, and welcome. Welcome back to another episode of the Guru Talkin Sports podcast. I am your host, the Guru of Sports. Well, fans, today is August 23rd, which is one real special day. First of all, we got to give props, big props where big props are due. Today is Kobe Bryant's birthday. And tomorrow will be 8/24, which is Kobe Bryant's 2 jersey numbers. And that'll be a big celebration, probably for all Laker and basketball fans everywhere. 8/24 is really special because it's actually the day after Kobe's birthday, and it's actually my son's birthday. So we want to wish Caden Guru a happy birthday. He'll be 15 years old tomorrow, and we say thank you and big props to you, Caden Guru. Enjoy your birthday. He's not here today because he wanted to be at home with his mom, and we just want to say thank you, Caden Guru, for all the contributions that you give to us, and you do. You know, like I said, now you're 15 years old. That means that, in 3 years you'll be out there on your own in college. Hopefully you'll be in college. I know you will be. Caden Guru is a very smart kid. But anyway, we just want to say, give you big props and say, thank you, Caden Guru, for everything that you do. Now, he's the executive producer and board op. And as you can tell, he's not here today. So Guru's running solo, doing everything with the board and all the other stuff that we're getting ready to do. Today, I'm not really going to talk about too much of anything. I'm basically going to go into some basketball, mostly basketball today, because if you were watching this game that was just on a few minutes ago between the Clippers, Los Angeles Clippers, and the Dallas Mavericks, you seen something that was totally remarkable. And I'll talk about that a little bit later. I'll just give you a little tease on that one. Like I said, usually what I usually do at about this time is go into all the, show format and how you can follow me and all that stuff. I usually do that because I want you guys to take a second and check out the podcast. Like I said, we've been doing this podcast now. This is episode 26, and we've been doing this for a long time now. And we're trying to get this thing in some kind of gear now. Like I said, the Guru does his thing. Guru does his little thing. But then again, we want you to participate and interact with this podcast. Anything that you can see. If you got a comment, I read a comment a couple days ago, which was very cool. It said, Guru, you're crazy. I know that. And Guru, you do a pretty good job. And I appreciate that. Thank you. And someone also said, Guru, you're a real clown. And I really appreciate that too. So, thank you. Anything that you guys mention, I'll put it into the podcast. If I see good comments, if I see bad comments, I'm gonna tell it like it is. And especially you people up in Philadelphia, and Guru's gonna tell it like it is. Now we're gonna talk about y'all a little bit later too. That's a little tease on there as well. So anyway, okay, let me get the You follow me on the different social media formats or platforms, or whatever you want to call them. But like I said, this is this podcast is really special to me because, like I said, I'm trying to find my niche, and I think I've basically kind of got it down a little bit. I really appreciate you listening and really appreciate you guys interacting. Now, like I said, I'm on YouTube. Now, if you notice that if you go on YouTube and look up The Guru of Sports Show, and you'll see the podcast on there. Like I said, the podcast is on there. You can listen to the podcast, and you can also see this crazy show that I've made. And to tell you the truth, there's a very, very strong possibility that the Guru of Sports Show will not air this season, only because of the COVID-19, the coronavirus, that thing that's out there. Y'all know about it. I might not do it this year because, like I said, it's a lot easier for me to do a podcast and spend this much time doing this podcast because it takes a lot of preparation. Even though you might think it don't, it takes a lot of preparation to make the show, the Guru of Sports Show. But the thing about it is that I don't mind doing it, but like I said, I might not have the time this year. And like I said, if I do a podcast, that's 45 minutes I can do and talk to you guys and give you all the stuff that I, need to give you guys. So anyway, like I said, I'm still making a decision, and more likely, I'm probably not going to have the Guru of Sports Show season 4, Guru of Sports Show. I was thinking something else. The Guru of Sports Show season 4 might not come back until next year because, like I said, all this COVID stuff, the COVID-19, the coronavirus, messed up a lot of things. And like I said, if you know sports like I do, you know that a lot of stuff in sports has been messed up. It's been putting a damper on all of our lives. So, we'll see what happens. Facebook. Now, I'm on Facebook. If you go on Facebook and look up L. Briscoe, which is me, L. Briscoe is my middle name, initial, E, and my first name, initial, L, E-L, Briscoe, B-R-I-S-C-O-E. You'll see me on there because what I have is a picture of Kobe Bryant, which will never come down. And I got a couple things on my Facebook page, but it's also called The Guru's Daily Shorts. Follow me at The Guru's Daily Shorts on Facebook. Now, Instagram, I have an Instagram. And like I said, I really like the Instagram because a lot of people do respond to me on Instagram. And I really appreciate that. It's called The Guru OS 39. That means if you follow me on Instagram, I'll follow you back. And like I said, I really appreciate all the comments and everything that's on the Instagram. Now, also Gmail. I have a Gmail address. I have a phone number too, but I only give it out to my special guests. I'm probably going to do a podcast on Wednesday. I'm going to try to get a podcast done on Wednesday where I'm going to talk to a member of my Cali Sports News family, and I'm going to talk to him, Mr. Ryan Anthony. He's going to come on Wednesday. We'll talk. But like I said, my Gmail address is gurusdailyshorts@gmail.com. That's pretty easy because if you check out the the Facebook page, Guru's Daily Shorts, it's the same thing in email, gurusdailyshorts@gmail.com. All right, now Twitter, I'm on Goat39. Goat39 on Twitter, and today is actually my 12th year anniversary on Twitter. I've been on Twitter now 12 years. I started out with like maybe a couple followers. Now I got about like 5 grand, and I appreciate that, or 4 to 5 grand, somewhere around in there. And Twitter's like that thing that, it goes in and out, more or less. You got people that'll follow you. You got people that'll drop off. That are people that, will stick with you for a long time. I think Miss Liz, she's been with me from day one. And so I just want to give, her a big shout out because, there's some people that have, that's sports fans, and that's why I got into Twitter for sports, nothing else. But anyway, she was following me from day one. I think she was one of my first Twitter followers, and I follow her as well. And she's a big Minnesota fan. She likes the Twins. She likes the Vikings. She likes all the Minnesota sports, and I really appreciate her. Thank you. Like I said, 12 years on Twitter. Thank you. Thank you, Twitter. Now, like I said, Goldie is my sidekick. If you ever watch the Guru Sports Show, you'll see Goldie on there. He's my sidekick. He's been with me for a long time. He was in the Navy with me, a Navy goat. Is that right, Goldie? As you can see, you can hear him. He's in the background, sitting around doing nothing like he usually do. All he does is take up space and makes a couple comments when he does. Right, Goldie? See, that's him. Anyway, Goldie, we appreciate you, and he's at BlackGoat39 on Twitter. Now, this podcast, formats for the podcast is simple. I'm going to go from, we got 11 places where you can follow this podcast. Now, the main one is Spreaker. Spreaker, we want to thank you for, giving us this start and giving us this platform to actually, do our thing. And like I said, I always wanted to talk about sports. I wanted to be a sports journalist, which, I wanted to work in a newspaper, but, who reads newspapers anymore? They're basically good for wrapping fish. But anyway, this is something that I really like to do. And this is one of my favorite passions is basically radio. I did some radio too years ago. But anyway, Spreaker, we appreciate you. Thank you for giving us this opportunity for this podcast. We're also at Podchasers, Spotify, Deezer, Google Podcasts, Podcast Addicts, Castbox, iHeartRadio, GeoSavin, which is a new one. GeoSavin, we appreciate you. We don't know. I still haven't figured out how to get into that account to see the podcast and how it's doing. But anyway, GeoSavin. Also want to mention Podomatics. I've seen it on Podomatics a couple times. But the big one I really appreciate, and I thank you for letting me being able to get into, be able to have a platform on there, is Apple iTunes. iTunes, we pick it up. They picked it up, and I really appreciate them for letting me being able to talk to them and talk to the people on Apple iTunes. Thank you. Like I said, I mentioned iHeartRadio. Yeah, iHeartRadio too. We're on iHeartRadio. I have seen it on iHeartRadio, and it's pretty good. Guru Talkin Sports Podcast is pretty good. I think so. Yeah, I should think so. I'm the guru. Anyway, now, like I said, what I usually do around this time now is, for people that haven't been listening to this podcast or don't know what's going on, I usually bang the gavel 3 times, or usually Caden Guru, when he's here, he'll bang the gavel 3 times, and we go into open arguments. And then we talk about what's on our mind in sports. So, for right now, since Caden Guru is not here, I'm going to bang the gavel, and we're going to get into it. But after that, we'll give you big props, and we'll close out the show. But like I said, we're not going to talk that long. We're going to talk about, some basketball. Nothing really big in football other than Earl Thomas got released by the Baltimore Ravens, and I don't understand that at all. But anyway, that is a big story. So we'll talk about that as well. And it seemed like Earl Thomas is having a really bad year, as for most of us. Yes, I know. Believe me, 2020 will never be forgotten. Believe me. And I'm just, hopefully it can just get out of here really soon. But then again, we still got about 100 some odd more days left in this mess, which is called 2020. Okay, now I'm going to bang the gavel 3 times, and we're going into opening arguments. Ready? Here we go. All right, opening arguments. Now, when I do opening arguments, I usually come out with something pretty strong in the beginning. But, well, I tell you what. Let's do this here. Let's go to good, the bad, and the ugly on this podcast today. Okay, let's go with, what are we going to do with the good first? Let's go with the good first. Yeah, we can go with the good first. Okay. Now, I was watching this game. The Clippers, Los Angeles Clippers, and the Dallas Mavericks. And that game was pretty good. That was really, really good game. And, I really, really like Luka Doncic. This dude is awesome. Luka is a great dude. I mean, he's a new jack. Yeah, he's a new jack. But, the thing about it is that we got to give props where props are due. And Luka is one of those guys that will be around. And to tell you the truth, I got a feeling this guy's going to be in the Hall of Fame one day. So, like I said, Luka is the man. And today he proved it. Because what he did was something truly remarkable. And like I said, this is the good for today. All right. I'm going to play this clip, if it comes up, from ESPN. And we're going to play this little clip for you. Give me 1 second.
Hasn't scored a heck of a lot. Drives, gets inside, ball on cue, count it, and the foul. Keeps it like a running back, protects the basketball, gets the contact, and he uses that upper body strength to still finish. He's exceptional at that. Does a great job, like decelerating right there. Undermanned Mavericks team trying to battle.
Okay, the clip that I wanted to play was him hitting that last shot, which was awesome. He actually faded back with basically nothing left on the clock and hit a three-pointer to win the game. They were down by 2, and believe me, when he hit that bad boy, they won by 2 points. So, they were down. I guess they were down by a point. So, 3 points that'll make them a winner, right? All right. So, anyway, like I said, he was basically he had let's say three other 3-pointers that he air bricked earlier, but then again, this one with nothing left on the clock, he basically hit this bad boy, and that was something else. That was a awesome shot, and it was just so amazing. And believe me, the Clippers just walked off the court in disgust, which is, what can you say? Luka was the man. Luka did his thing. And we got to give big props for him. But that series now is tied at 2-2 between the Clippers and the Dallas Mavericks. Or actually 2-1. I'm sorry. That's game 3. Okay, I was thinking about another team, and, basically that was it. Anyway, that was the good. The bad, gosh. Matter of fact, they can get the bad and the ugly for this one. What the hell's wrong with the 76ers? Now, I'm going to tell you something. Okay, now, I'm going to tell you exactly how this came about. Now, Philadelphia fans used to get on the Guru all the time because they thought that the Guru was a hater. The Guru's not a hater. The Guru tells it like it is. Now, Philadelphia fans they're very different, aren't they? Now, the Philadelphia fans, you can't really, you can try to explain to them certain things, but see, another thing with Philadelphia fans, I'm going to be honest with you. Guru's always going to be honest with you and tell you a little story right now. Let me tell you a little story like Bernie Mac used to say. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. For years and years and years, the Philadelphia Eagles couldn't win nothing. They couldn't win nothing. They was always there, and everybody always said, this is our year. And you know what? 2017, I think it happened. Yeah, I think it happened. Now, okay. We got to give them credit. Give them credit because they did win the Super Bowl in 2017. I think, well, yeah, they did. Yeah. They beat Tom Brady. And you know what? It's like this. if you're going to be the best, you got to beat the best. Now, I got to give them credit. Philadelphia won that game, and believe me, I was just talking to a guy the other day. He's from Boston. Now, my man Jay, we were sitting up here talking, and I told him, I said, you know what, I still can't believe that y'all lost that Super Bowl. Now, he's a big, he's a big fan of the New England Patriots. And I told him, I said, what happened to y'all, man? I thought y'all was going to win that Super Bowl. But then again, he was like, hey, you know what? You got to give credit where credit is due. And I said, yeah, you know what? I'll give them credit. And they won. No problem. I'll give them credit. But let's get back to what we were going at. The point is, Philadelphia fans think I'm a hater. I'm not a hater. I tell it like it is. Now, this season for the Philadelphia 76ers was totally just terrible. Terrible. Because believe me, they couldn't win anything on the road. Brett Brown has been preaching for the last several years that they're going to turn this team around. Yeah, they get to the playoffs, but what's the use of getting to the playoffs when you can't win it all? I understand that a lot of teams that goes through all these rebuilds and all that stuff. But come on now. Now you're going to take all these years to get Ben Simmons, who can't shoot a lick. He could probably hit as many three-pointers as my guy on NBA 2K can. Now, and he's a small forward, and he can't hit no three-pointers. As long as I've been playing this game for the longest time, and I just can't figure out how he can't. He's like one of the best players in the league. He can't shoot a three-pointer. That's the same thing with Ben Simmons. Let's be real. Let's keep it real. Keep it real, and we're not hating on Philadelphia right now. We're not hating on Philadelphia. We're telling it like it is. Joel Embiid, he's been hurt up and down all year. I got to give it to him. Joel Embiid is a great player. But the thing about it is that he can't go out there and win games for you all the time by himself. He can't. Tobias Harris, they brung him over and they said, hey, look, this is what we're going to go with. I'm going to tell you what you should have did. Now, believe me, I'm going to get to that. But anyway, okay. Shake Milton. This guy was pretty good. He had a good season last year. But the thing about it is that when you lose a player like J.J. Redick, when you lose a player like Jimmy Butler, you're not going to win too much. Because believe me, if the Lakers they could have got Jimmy Butler and J.J. Redick if they wanted them. But you know that that's LeBron's team. And LeBron says what he says goes. That's why now you see J.R. Smith and Deion Waiters on the Los Angeles Lakers. Yeah, I know. Believe me, I don't understand that either. So, but anyway, let's get back to Philadelphia. Let's wrap this up with Philadelphia. This is the most disappointing season I ever seen the Philadelphia 76ers play in my entire life. Okay. Now, like I said, I'm a Laker fan. I got to give them credit. In 1983, they had one up on us. They got us. Yeah, they got the Lakers. They beat the Lakers. But the Lakers came back and beat them in 2001 when Allen Iverson stepped over my man, Tyronn Lue. But yeah, like I said, you know what? We paid them back. No problem. Now, I go a long way back. Now, I remember back in 77 when they lost the championship to Portland. They had a slogan back here saying, we owe you one. Oh, believe me, for this season, you owe a lot. Believe me, you owe a lot. And believe me, I'm going to tell you one thing right now. By the next time you hear my voice next week, they might be firing a coach. I'm going to tell it like it is. They might be firing a coach because believe me, I think Brett Brown didn't coach his last game in Philadelphia. The ownership, believe me, Very disappointing. I mean, the ownership, they can't. I mean, how can you tank all these seasons to have a good team and they can't win nothing? Hey, I like I said, I'm not hating. I'm not hating at all. I'm just telling it like it is. Philadelphia just looked terrible this year. Like I said again, they can't win on the road. They were okay at home. But how in the hell are you going to have a great team if you can't win on the road? I mean, hell, that's common sense, right? Anyway, that's the good, the bad, and the ugly. And like I said, I gave the bad and the ugly to the Sixers because believe me, you get swept out by Boston. Give credit where credit is due. Like I said, Boston's got a great team. Tatum, Tatum's the man. I still don't understand now when they drafted the year that Tatum came out. They made a play. I guess quote me if I'm wrong. And usually Guru is not wrong, but I'm gonna go out on a limb this time. I'm gonna say this. Now I think in that draft they picked up Markelle Fultz. Now where is he at? Where is he at? Orlando, Washington. So, one of the teams that ain't even in the playoffs? I don't know where he at. Couple players down, guess who Boston takes? Jason Tatum. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. I'm not making this up. But y'all know. Now, I'm going to give credit where credit is due again, like I usually do. Like I said, Jason Tatum is a great player. He's a player. Now, just think if you would have had Jason Tatum, Ben Simmons, and Joel Embiid. Now, like I said, I know y'all done drafted some bad players like Jaleel Okafor and a couple other players that really didn't pan out. So, I don't know. That's on y'all, Philadelphia. But like I said, Philadelphia, I'm not hating on you guys. It's disappointing on how you guys went out because if you remember last week, I said y'all might win 2 games in this series. Y'all didn't win any, so I still was right. I did pick Boston to win the whole thing or win that series. So I'm still right. Anyway, if you don't listen to the guru, then I can't make this stuff up. Tell you the truth. Anyway, let's go to another team, the Los Angeles Lakers. They're basically the ugly right now. I don't know how they're winning these games, but they won yesterday. And LeBron had a good game. Anthony Davis had a good game. They finally put together a great game. But guess what? Their shooting is terrible. Oh, atrocious. That's the word I was looking for. I can't believe they're the number 1 seed in the West, and yet still their play is basically atrocious. That's the word. Oh, gosh. But you know what? It's worrying me because, I hate to see any great player get injured. Damian Lillard, that dude he's awesome. And you know what? And another thing, too, is that I've seen Damian Lillard play several times, on TV. And, I've seen him play one time in person. But like I said, the thing about it is that dude is smooth. Dude is smooth, but the thing about it is that, he reminded me of Steph Curry the other night when he hit that big 3-pointer. But like I said, you know what? The Lakers are playing really ugly, and they need to get their act in gear because now they're up 2-1 in this series. I said that they will probably win in 7, but you know what? If that finger, that right index finger of his is not right, then maybe the Lakers might win this thing in like 5 or maybe 5 or 6. But like I said, Damian Lillard is the truth. He's got that shot that looks like I said, he looks better than Curry. right now because Curry ain't even in the playoffs. But like I said, that's the ugly. Lakers are still playing ugly, but they're still winning, and they're trying to get it together. But like I said, it kind of worries me as a Laker fan because, like I said, it's not going to go easier after this series. If they make it through this series, if they beat Portland, it's not going to get any easier because it's going to get tougher. The competition always, always the better teams are going, they're going to play in, a little bit, it's going to be tough the next couple series if they don't get their act together. And like I said, that's ugly. They look real ugly. But like I said, you'll see what happens anyway. Now, getting off basketball for a minute, I want to talk about Earl Thomas. How in the hell you get that $10 million contract and you blow it? But how would Baltimore? Why did you guys release this dude? He's one of the best safeties in the game in the NFL. But why? Why? I mean, hey, you know what? Maybe tell you the truth, Seattle did the same thing. Maybe it's a Earl Thomas problem, not a Baltimore Raven or Seattle Seahawk problem. I don't know. But like I said, I'll tell you one thing. There's about 30 other teams that's going to be knocking on his door. And the Dallas Cowboys going to try to get him because they try to get everybody. They picked up that linebacker from Minnesota, Griffin. Griffin. I'll just put it at that. Now, he's played, they want to win that division this year, to tell you the truth. They want to beat out the Eagles and win that division this year. I don't have a problem with them because I look at it this way. The Cowboys and the Eagles are going to be fighting for that division only because the Washington football team is not going to be that good. And I got to give it to the Giants, New York Giants. They'll probably end up in third place, but the Washington football team is going to probably be in last. Anyway, let me go back to some basketball. Now, Kobe Bryant's birthday is today. Like I said, 8/23. Tomorrow is actually 8/24. That'll be his day. And I think all Laker fans all over the world know that, we lost a great, great talent. We lost one of the GOATs of basketball here in January. It's funny because I got a Kobe story I'm going to tell you right quick. Now, I've seen Kobe Bryant play so many times when I lived in Los Angeles. And he never had a bad game. Never looked bad. And, I guess this is something about the greatest players. They all say they want to do good. They want to play good. Because if someone came to see him play, they want them to remember the good, the spectacular, how they played on the court. Excuse me. I seen LeBron James play a couple times as well. Now, what I'm going to say is this. I seen Kobe play his last game in Philadelphia against the 76ers. Now, when I moved back here in 1998, I basically seen Kobe every single season that the Lakers and the Sixers played in Philadelphia. And like I said, I've seen him play in Los Angeles. I've seen him play in Philadelphia. And I did get a chance to see one of the greatest games between Kobe and LeBron James, their last game in Cleveland. I did get a chance to travel to Cleveland and watch that game. And that was something else. It's funny because like certain players, are loved by all. Like when he announced that he was going on his retirement tour, it was like that Sunday. It was like on a Sunday. And I had tickets for that game anyway when they were coming to Philadelphia to play the 76ers, and I think it was on a Wednesday. And I had a feeling that that was going to be his last game in Philadelphia, and he's going to, make the East Coast tour for the last time. And like I said, most of these guys, they don't, if you're in the Western Conference, you only play the Eastern Conference twice, once at home, once in away. So I figured, hey, if I got a chance to see Kobe play his last game in Philadelphia for the last time, I'm going to go see it, no matter what. So I get to the game, and I got down. I had very, very good tickets. Very, very good tickets. I actually basically looked over and looked at Kobe, took pictures and all that stuff. But like I said, you know what? I'm a sports fan at heart. But the thing about it is that, Kobe Bryant was probably one of the most electrifying players I ever seen in my life. Now, I remember, like I said, I go back a little ways. Now, like I said, I've seen Wilt Chamberlain play. I've seen Earl the Pearl Monroe play. I've seen Connie Hawkins. I've seen George Gervin. I've seen Michael Jordan play. I was getting ready to say Michael Jackson. But anyway, Michael Jordan play. LeBron play. I've seen all these guys play. And basketball is probably one of my favorite sports other than baseball. I ain't going to talk about baseball because, the Orioles did win today, but they're still trash. Anyway, let me say this. Kobe Bryant is probably one of my favorite basketball players, and he was always at his best when I seen him play. When I first learned that he had, passed away, I was devastated. And like any other person in this world, we all felt as though that we lost somebody that we had known for a long time, even though we didn't know him personally. Kobe was a lot of things, and a lot of people, like I said, I put up on my Facebook page a picture of Kobe, and I think I have one on my Twitter and Instagram. But the thing about it is that, people do make mistakes. I never speak ill will of the dead. I don't have no ill will towards the dead. But there was one guy that made a comment on my Facebook on Guru's Daily Shorts, and I said, I just mourn the loss of him. And he had one word that he put out there, and that word was racist. I mean, no, excuse me, rapist. I'm sorry, not racist, rapist. I mean, with all the race stuff going on today, I'm sorry I even said that word. I'm getting tired of it, to tell you the truth. But anyway, rapist. And I went on and blocked that guy and ended up dropping him from my Facebook because I don't need people like that. People make mistakes. And, we have to forgive people when they do make mistakes. So, you find it in your heart to make sure that people are people. And like I said, some people make mistakes. We got to forgive and forget. But like I said, in this case, I'll always remember Kobe Bryant as the great player. And I used to tease my wife when we go to see Kobe. We say, "Oh, Kobe gonna show his ass tonight." And I think one night he came out here and scored like 37 points or 40 points or something like that. And I said, "Yeah, I told you." And that fadeaway jumper, oh man, that was the sweetest thing. And get ready to wrap this up, but like I said, I play a lot of NBA 2K, and I pattern my guy after Kobe Bryant because, like I said, some people are great, and I'm going to take a little line from one of my favorite songs of all time. Cool Kyle Starchild made this song. Do you like that funky beat? He said, Like no other, there will never be another. And believe me, there will never be another Kobe Bryant. I thank you, Kobe, for all the good times, all the good memories, and just say thank you for everything. And and it means a lot to me. Like I said, I had a lot of things in my life that a lot of people in my life that I can say thank you to, but Kobe Bryant was one of them. All right, let me wrap this up. Okay, now I'm gonna give big props out, and like I said, tomorrow is Kobe Bryant Day, 8/24 day. Remember that. Go out and I got plenty of Kobe Bryant jerseys, so I'm gonna be wearing a lot of them tomorrow anyway. Got to give big props to my man Jeff Duarte from Cali Sports News, editor in chief and Big Cheese over there at Cali Sports News. Thank you, Mr. Jeff Duarte. I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to finish the Laker article, but I will. I will definitely. And since I'm actually basketball and football editor, I can write it anytime. And I appreciate you and your patience. My man Damian Adams, the Real Deal with Damian Adams podcast. I listen to it. It's great. It's always great. And like I said, I appreciate you. My three wise men, I want to give shout out to my man Jeff Shepard. He's always funny. I'm gonna have him back on again. And like I said, he's funny as hell. So, he does this thing called Hip Hop BC, Hip Hop Before Corporate, and I really appreciate the job that you do. And you keep me laughing all the time. Follow him on Instagram, follow him on Twitter, follow him on Facebook as well. Happy the original pioneer, DJ and MC. He has a thing called Hip Hop TBT, the biblical truth. We really appreciate you. My man Cool Kyle Starchild, the original Starchild, Spec One. Like I said, I took that line from him because, like I said, his song, like I said before, it actually was one of my favorite songs of all time. And like I said, Cool Kyle, I appreciate what you did. Now, when we get to the credits, because I look like I'm about ready to run out of time, and I'm going to stop talking, I'm going to get to the music and everything. But I want to say big shouts and props to my crew. My crew is Caden Guru, executive producer and board op. My man Vinny V, executive technical advisor. Appreciate you. Mr. Ray Guru, always great musical director and engineer. Mr. Dante Guru, show advisor. Derek Guru is a co-host with the most, and he is also my sports informant. Like I said, this has been a Black Goat production for Black Goat Entertainment. Copyright 2020. Anyway, we got to get out of here. Like I said, we're freeway close. We're always on. We appreciate you and we thank you for listening to this podcast. We're getting ready to run out of time, but I want to play something. And also, I want to give a shout out to my man, Reggie Reg. I want to give a shout out to a new guy, old school guy that, like I said, all old school guys are friends of mine. Give a shout out to my girl, Bella B, and give a shout out to my main man, Jeff in Southfield. Like I said, this is the Guru. I appreciate you. We'll see you next week for Guru Talking Sports Podcast. We're going to get out of here with some Body Rock by the Treacherous 3. Thank you and good night. Take care. The Guru will see you real soon.
We got something new. We got something new. Well, if you rate it like you ate it, like a movie review. You see, we get 5 stars for each of us. So let us take it the deal because it is a must. Well, I'm the number one ace. Face in the face. I'm case of a plate. Set for me. And I'm the number one dude. So do what the you said. I got more rhymes than mother do. Well, I'm the number one J. Here to stay. Yes, to stay. The winner play all the way until the break of day. And party people number 4. Back and more on the floor. Party, party, party. Till the can more. And the man number 5 makes the crowd come alive. Reggie Rand's on the mix and it takes no job. But there's no man. Number 6, but the tables and the mix. So come on, party people, let us show a few tricks. Rock the body, rock the body, rock the body, rock.